The moving truck arrived on a Tuesday morning in late September. I was in my workshop, my refuge, the converted garage where I'd spent 40 years building furniture and restoring antiques, when I heard the diesel engine rumbling up Elmwood Terrace. I didn't think much of it, probably another young family moving into the neighborhood. Portland's Harborview district had been gentrifying for years. Old houses bought and renovated, long-time residents slowly replaced by tech workers and remote professionals. I went back to sanding the cherrywood dresser I was restoring for Tobias Fletcher, my neighbor 3 doors down. The rhythm of the work soothed me, had for decades. Since Dorothea died 3 years ago, the workshop had become more than a hobby. It was where I talked to her ghost, where I processed grief, where I felt closest to the woman I'd loved for 48 years. Around noon, Cassandra appeared in the workshop doorway. My daughter-in-law, married to Percy for 19 years, never warmed to me, never pretended to. The feeling was mutual, though I kept it civil for Percy's sake. "Bart, we need to talk." I set down the sandpaper. I need you to come to the house. Now, it's important." The house. She'd started calling it the house instead of your house about 6 months ago. Small shift, but telling, like she was already mentally claiming ownership. I followed her across the street. Our houses faced each other, mine a Victorian I'd bought in 1978. Theirs a newer colonial they'd purchased 10 years ago when Percy's tech startup went public. I'd helped with the down payment, $50,000 I couldn't really afford but gave anyway because that's what fathers do. The moving truck was parked in their driveway. 2 men were unloading furniture, hospital bed, wheelchair, medical equipment. "What's all this?" Cassandra didn't answer until we were inside. Percy was in the living room, looking uncomfortable. Behind him, sitting in a leather recliner that the movers had just placed, was a man I recognized from wedding photos, Reginald Whitmore, Cassandra's father, 75 years old, oxygen tubes in his nose, looking frail and angry in equal measure. "Dad, this is Bart," Cassandra said to Reginald, ignoring me. "Percy's father. He lives across the street, the woodworker," Reginald said. Not a question. A dismissal, like my 40-year career as a master carpenter was a hobby. "Cassandra, what's going on?" I looked at Percy, but he wouldn't meet my eyes. "My father can't live alone anymore. He had a fall last month, broke his hip. He needs care, supervision, so he's moving in with us." That's good. Family should take care of family. I meant it. Whatever my feelings about Cassandra, caring for aging parents was the right thing to do. "There's a complication. We don't have space. You have 4 bedrooms. Gus has one. Percy and I have the master. My office is in the 3rd. That leaves the guest room, but it's too small. Father needs space for medical equipment, room for a caregiver to sleep when needed." I had a bad feeling about where this was going. "Bart," Percy finally spoke, "we need to use your house, temporarily, just until we figure out a long-term solution. Use my house. Your master bedroom is perfect, 1st floor, attached bathroom, close to everything. Father would be comfortable there, and you could take one of the upstairs bedrooms. Or the basement," Cassandra interrupted. "The basement's actually better, more private. You could still use your workshop, have your own space." I stared at them, at my son, who wouldn't look at me, at my daughter-in-law, who was looking at me like I was an obstacle to be managed, at Reginald, who was studying me with cold assessment. "You want me to give up my bedroom in my house so your father can move in?" "It's just temporary," Percy said quickly. "Maybe a few months until we renovate the addition we've been planning, create a proper in-law suite. You've been planning that addition for 3 years. We'll prioritize it now. 6 months, tops. Father needs help, Dad, and you have the space. We're family. This is what family does. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd given them $50,000 for their down payment. Now they wanted my bedroom. And if I say no, Cassandra's expression hardened. Then you're refusing to help family in a medical crisis. You're putting your comfort above my father's health and safety. I'm sure the family will understand your priorities. There it was, the refuse, and be painted as the selfish old man who wouldn't help his own family. I need to think about this. There's nothing to think about, Reginald spoke up. His voice was weak but sharp. You're an old man living alone in a house too big for you. My daughter and her husband are asking for help. You say no to that? I'm not saying no. I'm saying I need time to we're moving him in tomorrow, Cassandra cut me off. The medical equipment is being delivered at 9 a.m. I need an answer now. I looked at Percy, really looked at him, 44 years old, successful, wealthy, standing there letting his wife bully his father out of his own bedroom. What do you want me to say, Percy? Man to man. What do you actually want? He finally met my eyes. I want you to help us, please. I know it's not ideal, but we're in a bind, and it's temporary. I promise. Something in his voice. Desperation. Fear. Not of the situation with Reginald, but of something else. Of Cassandra, maybe. Or of conflict. Percy had always avoided conflict. Fine. Temporarily. 6 months maximum. Then you figure something else out. Thank you, Dad. Really? Thank you. I use the upstairs bedroom. Not the basement. Cassandra opened her mouth to argue, but Percy put his hand on her arm. The upstairs bedroom is fine. Of course. I went home, stood in my bedroom, Dorothea's bedroom, our bedroom, where we'd slept for 40 years, where she died in my arms and felt something break inside me. They were taking this too, after everything, the money, the support, the babysitting when Gus was young, the furniture I'd built for their house, the repairs I'd done for free. Now they wanted the room where my wife had died. I called Montgomery Caldwell, Monty, 70 years old, retired attorney, my closest friend since high school. We'd been through everything together. My wedding, his divorce, Dorothea's death, his heart attack. 55 years of friendship. Monty, I need legal advice. What happened? I told him. All of it. The moving truck, Reginald, the demand for my bedroom, the threat to make me look selfish if I refused. Long silence when I finished. Bart, they can't legally force you to give up your room. I know, but they can make my life hell if I refuse. Family pressure, social pressure. They'll tell everyone I refused to help during a medical crisis. So what do you want to do? I want to protect myself, legally. What are my options? Well, first question. Whose name is on the deed to your house? Mine, just mine. Dorothea and I bought it together, but after she died, it went fully to me. Good. That means they have no legal claim. But Bart, if they're already pressuring you like this, it's going to escalate. You need to document everything, every conversation, every demand, every threat. You think it'll come to that? I think you need to be prepared. How long since you updated your will? Not since Dorothea died. Then we need to do that. Tomorrow, come to my office. We'll make sure everything's airtight. Because Bart, I'm going to say something you probably don't want to hear. Say it. This isn't about Reginald needing care. This is about Cassandra positioning to inherit your house. She's getting her father moved in, establishing residency, creating a situation where you're the guest and they're the caregivers. In 6 months you won't be in the upstairs bedroom. You'll be in the basement or out entirely. That's paranoid. They asked you to move to the basement, Bart. On day 1, that tells you everything about their long-term plan. I hung up, sat in my bedroom, my soon-to-be former bedroom, and realized Monty was right. This wasn't temporary. This was a takeover. The next morning, the medical equipment arrived. Hospital bed, monitors, oxygen concentrator, wheelchair, walker. They turned my bedroom into a medical facility. Dorothea's nightstand, pushed into the corner, our bed frame disassembled and carried to the garage, the wallpaper we'd chosen together in 1985, covered by medical charts and equipment. I moved my clothes upstairs. The guest bedroom, smaller, dormer ceiling, view of the backyard instead of the street. Not my room. Not our room. Reginald moved in that afternoon. Cassandra supervised everything, didn't ask my opinion, didn't consult about furniture placement or equipment location, treated my house like it was hers. The caregiver will be here Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., she informed Renee. Her name is Maria. She'll need access to the kitchen for Father's meals. This is still my house, Cassandra. Of course it is. We're just making necessary accommodations. You understand, that evening, Percy came over, found me in the workshop. Dad, I'm sorry about how this went down. I know it's not ideal. Not ideal? Percy, they took my bedroom, our bedroom where your mother died, and your wife wanted me in the basement like I'm storage to be put away. She didn't mean it like that. Yes, she did. And you let her. You stood there and let her bully me into this. What was I supposed to do? Reginald needs care. We don't have space. You do have space. It made sense. What made sense was asking. Not demanding, not threatening to make me look bad if I refused. Asking. Percy looked at his shoes. You're right, I'm sorry. But Dad, it's just 6 months. We'll get the addition built. Everything will go back to normal, will it? 'Cause once they're in, Percy, how do I get them out? You really think Cassandra's gonna voluntarily move her father after 6 months? I'll make sure she does, I promise. Your promises don't seem to mean much lately. I stayed in the workshop until midnight, sanding the same piece of wood over and over until my hands ached. The next morning I drove to Monty's office. I want to change my will, everything, right now. Monty pulled out legal pads. Talk to me. My house currently goes to Percy, along with my retirement accounts, life insurance, everything. I want that changed. To what? Leave the retirement and life insurance to Percy. But the house? Put it in trust for Gus, my grandson. He gets it when he turns 25. If something happens to me before then, the trust manages it. Percy can't sell it. Cassandra can't claim it. It's Gus's. That's a significant change. That's the point. If they think they're going to pressure me out of my own home and then inherit it when I die, they're wrong. I'll leave it to Gus. He's a good kid. He'll appreciate it. Bart, have you talked to Percy about this? No, and I'm not going to. Draw up the papers. I'll sign them today. Monty studied me. You're sure? This is going to cause problems. Problems already exist. I'm just protecting myself. Okay, give me 2 hours. I'll have everything ready. I spent those 2 hours walking around Portland's old port, thinking about the last 3 years since Dorothea died, how lonely they'd been, how I'd relied on Percy and Cassandra, Sunday dinners at their house, holidays together, helping with Gus when they traveled. I'd thought we were family, close family, the kind that took care of each other. Now I saw the truth. They'd been calculating. Every Sunday dinner was an investment, every holiday an obligation, every request for help was them keeping score, building up credit for the day when they'd cash it all in. That day had come, and I'd refused to see it until they literally took my bedroom. I signed the new will at Bartholomew Grimshaw, 72 years old, disinheriting his only son's claim to the family home. It's done, Monty said. But Bart, one more thing. Have you considered what happens if they make your life so miserable you want to leave? What do you mean? I mean, they could make staying in that house unbearable. Noise, intrusion, constant demands, push you out without ever legally evicting you. Then you're gone, and Reginald's established residency, and suddenly it's complicated. What should I do? If this story reminded you of the injustices you've seen, follow the channel and turn on notifications. Because wherever justice is delayed, a new revenge story begins. Document everything. Keep a journal. Date, time, what happened. If this goes to court, you'll need evidence. And Bart, consider having a backup plan. Somewhere else you could stay if needed. Like what? Do you have friends? Family? Anywhere you could go for a few weeks if things get bad? I have you. And Tobias. That's about it. Then start thinking about alternatives. Hotel, extended stay, just in case. I drove home, parked in my driveway, looked at my house, my home of 47 years, and felt like a stranger. Inside, Maria the caregiver was cooking in my kitchen. Reginald was in my bedroom watching TV. Cassandra was rearranging my living room furniture to make it easier for Father to navigate with the walker. Bart, I moved your recliner to the corner. Father needs the space near the window. His physical therapist says natural light helps with recovery. I didn't argue, just went upstairs to the guest room and closed the door. This was day 2. 6 months suddenly felt like a lifetime. That weekend things escalated. Saturday morning, Cassandra knocked on my bedroom door at 6:30 a.m. Bart, Father needs the bathroom. Can you use the one upstairs? He can't navigate the stairs, and the master bath is the only one on the first floor. There's a bathroom up here. Yes, but it would be easier if you just use that one. So we don't have to coordinate schedules. You want me to permanently use the upstairs bathroom in my own house? It's just more practical, less confusion for Father. She left before I could argue. I heard her downstairs talking to Reginald, their voices carrying up through the old heating vents. He's being difficult about the bathroom. Throw him out. It's your house, not yet. Percy's still attached, but give it time. He'll see reason. I sat on the edge of the bed, not my bed, the guest bed, and felt rage build. Clean, cold rage. They weren't waiting 6 months. They were planning to push me out now. Sunday, Percy and Gus came for dinner. First time I'd seen my grandson in weeks. Grandpa. Gus hugged me. 16 years old, tall like his father, but with his grandmother's kind eyes. Mom said you're letting great-grandpa Ridge stay here. That's really nice of you. Is it what your dad told you, that I'm letting him stay? Gus looked confused. Yeah, that you offered because you had the extra space. That's not exactly how it happened. Percy shot me a warning look. Dad, not now. But I was done with not now. Gus, your parents asked me to give up my bedroom, the one where your grandmother died. They wanted me to move to the basement. I said no to the basement, but I'm in the guest room now. Did they tell you that part? Dad, Percy's voice rose. Did they tell you they gave away my bedroom without asking what I wanted? Did they tell you your mom called it more practical for me to just accept it? Grandpa, Gus looked between us, uncomfortable. I'm sorry, Gus. You shouldn't be in the middle of this, but you should know the truth. Your parents are trying to push me out of my own house, and I'm not going to let that happen. Percy grabbed Gus's arm. We're leaving. Come on. Percy, wait. No, you don't get to poison my son against us. We're trying to help Reginald. You're making it about you. We're done here. I mean, they could make staying in that house unbearable. Noise, intrusion, constant demands. Push you out without ever legally evicting you. Then you're gone, and Reginald's established residency, and suddenly it's complicated. What should I do? If this story reminded you of the injustices you've seen, follow the channel and turn on notifications, because wherever justice is delayed, a new revenge story begins. Document everything. Keep a journal, date, time, what happened. If this goes to court, you'll need evidence. And Bart, consider having a backup plan. Somewhere else you could stay if needed. Like what? Do you have friends? Family? Anywhere you could go for a few weeks if things get bad? I have you. And Tobias, that's about it. Then start thinking about alternatives. Hotel. Extended stay, just in case. I drove home, parked in my driveway, looked at my house, my home of 47 years, and felt like a stranger. Inside, Maria the caregiver was cooking in my kitchen. Reginald was in my bedroom watching TV. Cassandra was rearranging my living room furniture to make it easier for Father to navigate with the walker. Bart, I moved your recliner to the corner. Father needs the space near the window. His physical therapist says natural light helps with recovery. I didn't argue, just went upstairs to the guest room and closed the door. This was day 2. 6 months suddenly felt like a lifetime. That weekend, things escalated. Saturday morning, Cassandra knocked on my bedroom door at 6:30 a.m. Bart, Father needs the bathroom. Can you use the one upstairs? He can't navigate the stairs, and the master bath is the only one on the first floor. There's a bathroom up here. Yes, but it would be easier if you just used that one, so we don't have to coordinate schedules. You want me to permanently use the upstairs bathroom in my own house? It's just more practical, less confusion for Father. She left before I could argue. I heard her downstairs, talking to Reginald, their voices carrying up through the old heating vents. He's being difficult about the bathroom. Throw him out. It's your house. Not yet. Percy's still attached, but give it time. He'll see reason. I sat on the edge of the bed, not my bed, the guest bed, and felt rage build. Clean, cold rage. They weren't waiting 6 months. They were planning to push me out now. Sunday, Percy and Gus came for dinner. First time I'd seen my grandson in weeks. Grandpa, Gus hugged me. 16 years old, tall like his father, but with his grandmother's kind eyes. Mom said you're letting great-grandpa Reg stay here. That's really nice of you. Is it what your dad told you? That I'm letting him Gus looked confused. Yeah, that you offered because you had the extra space. That's not exactly how it happened. Percy shot me a warning look. Dad, not now. But I was done with not now. Gus, your parents asked me to give up my bedroom, the one where your grandmother died. They wanted me to move to the basement. I said no to the basement, but I'm in the guest room now. Did they tell you that part? Dad, Percy's voice rose. Did they tell you they gave away my bedroom without asking what I wanted? Did they tell you your mom called it more practical for me to just accept it? Grandpa, Gus looked between us, uncomfortable. I'm sorry, Gus. You shouldn't be in the middle of this, but you should know the truth. Your parents are trying to push me out of my own house, and I'm not going to let that happen. Percy grabbed Gus's arm. We're leaving. Come on. Percy, wait. No, you don't get to poison my son against us. We're trying to help Reginald. You're making it about you. We're done here. I spent Tuesday installing security cameras, small ones, hidden in bookshelves, on windowsills, in corners, angled to capture the living room, kitchen, hallways, audio and video. If Cassandra was going to make threats, I'd have proof. Wednesday evening she proved why I needed it. She came over at 8 p.m. Didn't knock, just walked in using the key Percy had from when they used to water my plants during vacations. Found me in the workshop. Bart, we need to discuss the sleeping arrangements. What about them? The upstairs bedroom isn't working. Father's caregiver needs to be on the same floor as him. For safety, in case of emergency, then move Reginald upstairs. Don't be ridiculous. He can't manage stairs. You can. Which is why you need to take the basement bedroom. I already said no to the basement, and I'm telling you there's no choice anymore. Maria needs the upstairs room. Father needs the master. The basement is perfect for you. It's finished. Has its own bathroom. You'd have complete privacy. The basement floods every spring. It's damp. It smells like mildew. I'm not living in my own basement. Then maybe you should consider other options. Other options? Percy and I have been discussing this. This house is really too much for you. The maintenance, the yard work, the stairs. You're 72, Bart. Maybe it's time to think about downsizing, assisted living, senior community, something manageable. You want me out of my house. I want you somewhere safe, somewhere appropriate for your age and limitations. I don't have limitations, don't you? You're alone, no spouse, limited family contact now. Isolated in a big house. That's not healthy. That's not safe. I stood up, walked to within a foot of her, looked down at this woman who'd married my son 19 years ago and slowly poisoned everything. What would you do at this point? Write it in the comments. Your thoughts are as important as the story itself. Get out. Bart, get out of my house. You have no authority here, no rights. This is my home, my property, my decision, and I'm deciding you and your threats can leave. Now, she smiled, actually smiled. I'll leave. But Bart, this isn't over. You can't force an elderly, injured man out of his sickbed. People would be appalled. Think about how that looks. She left. I checked the cameras, got everything, every word, every threat. Her admission that she wanted me in assisted living. I uploaded it to cloud storage, sent copies to Mont, created backups on 3 different devices, ammunition. Thursday morning, I went to see Percy at his office. He worked from home mostly, tech startup, remote team, but maintained a small office in downtown Portland for meetings. Found him at his desk, looking exhausted. Dad, what are you doing here? I'm going to say this once. Get your wife under control, or I'm evicting Reginald. You can't. I can. It's my house. He's a guest. I can ask him to leave. It'll take time, but I can do it, and I will, if Cassandra doesn't back off. She's just trying to help her father. She's trying to push me out. She said it last night, told me I should be in assisted living, that this house is too much for me. I have it on video, Percy, her exact words. He went pale. Video. Security cameras, installed Tuesday. Everything's recorded now. Every conversation, every threat. Every time she walks into my house without permission, you're recording us? I'm protecting myself, because apparently my own son won't. Percy put his head in his hands. This is out of control. Yes, it is. And you're going to fix it. Talk to Cassandra. Tell her to back off. Tell her I'm not moving to the basement. I'm not going to assisted living. I'm staying in my house. And if she pushes again, I'm going to my lawyer with everything I've recorded. She'll be furious. I don't care. Set boundaries with your wife or I'll set them legally. Your choice. I left him there, drove home, walked into my house and found Reginald in the living room. Walker beside him, watching TV on maximum volume. Turn that down. He looked at me like I was an insect. I can't hear it lower. Bad ears. Get headphones. Why should I? It's not disturbing anyone. It's disturbing me. This is my house. For now, I froze. What did you say? For now, it's your house. But Cassandra says you're thinking about moving. Senior living or something. Smart move. House like this is wasted on one person. So Cassandra was already telling her father I was leaving, setting the narrative, preparing everyone for my voluntary departure. I'm not going anywhere. We'll see. That night I couldn't lay in the guest room bed, not my bed, never my bed, listening to medical equipment beeping downstairs, Reginald coughing, Maria the caregiver moving around, my house, full of strangers, invaded, occupied, Dorothea's voice in my head, fight back, don't let them take what we built. Friday morning, I made a decision. I called Monty. I need to do something dramatic, something that makes my position crystal clear. What are you thinking? I'm thinking maybe I need to show them I'm serious about this being my house, about not backing down. Bart, don't do anything rash. Not rash, strategic, but I need your help, legal help. How do I protect this house permanently? Not just now, but forever. Transfer it to an irrevocable trust, with you as beneficiary during your lifetime, Gus as ultimate beneficiary. Percy and Cassandra can't touch it, can't contest it, can't claim it. Do it today. Papers ready by Monday. This is a big step. They're trying to take my home. I'm protecting it. Draw up the papers. I spent the weekend preparing, cleaning the workshop, organizing files, creating a complete record of everything since the moving truck arrived. Monday morning, I signed the trust documents in Monty's office. Bartholomew Grimshaw Irrevocable Trust, me as beneficiary during my lifetime. Gus is remainder beneficiary, effective immediately. It's done, Monty said. The house is protected. No one can force you out. No one can inherit it, except Gus. Percy and Cassandra have zero legal claim. Good. Are you going to tell them? Eventually, when they push again, and they will. I was right. Tuesday evening, Cassandra and Percy both appeared. Bart, we need to discuss the situation. It's not sustainable. I agree. When is Reginald moving out? That's not. Look, we've found a solution. A lovely assisted living facility in Augusta. They have openings. We can tour it this weekend. For Reginald. For you. There it was. Finally. Openly. No more pretense. You want to put me in assisted living so you can keep my house. It's not about keeping your house. It's about what's best for everyone. You'd have care, social activities, safety, and Father would have the space he needs. No, Bart, be reasonable. I am being reasonable. This is my house, my home. I'm 72 and in perfect health. I don't need assisted living. I need you to stop trying to push me out. Percy spoke up. Dad, please, just tour the facility, see what it's like. You might actually like it, and if I refuse, then we'll have to consider other options. Legal options, competency evaluations, making sure you're capable of living independently. I pulled out my phone, opened the recording app, hit play. Cassandra's voice. You're alone, no spouse, limited family contact now, isolated in a big house. That's not healthy. That's not safe. Their faces went white. Recordings of everything, every threat, every manipulation, every time you've tried to force me out, and if you continue, I'm taking all of it to my attorney and filing harassment charges. You can't. I can. And there's something else you should know. This house, no longer mine. Not legally. I transferred it to an irrevocable trust Monday. I'm the beneficiary during my lifetime, but I can't sell it, can't give it away, can't be pressured into leaving because there's nothing to gain. When I die, it goes to Gus. You get nothing. Percy's face crumbled. You disinherited me? I protected my home from people who were trying to take it. We're family. Family doesn't threaten assisted living evaluation. Family doesn't try to force elderly parents into basements. Family doesn't move sick relatives into someone else's bedroom without permission. Dad, please, get Reginald out of my house. You have 30 days. I'll start eviction proceedings tomorrow if necessary, but I'm giving you a chance to handle it quietly. Move him to your place. Move him anywhere, but get him out. He can't be moved. Find a way, because in 30 days I'm filing eviction paperwork, and I'm using all these recordings as evidence of your harassment. Your choice. They left. I stood in my living room, still rearranged, still full of medical equipment, and felt something like victory. Small victory, but victory nonetheless. I wasn't in the basement. I wasn't in assisted living, and they knew, finally, that I wasn't going anywhere. The 30 days felt like 30 years. Cassandra didn't speak to me. Percy tried once. A text message. Dad, can we talk about this rationally? I didn't respond. Reginald glared at me whenever I passed through the living room, his territory now marked with medical equipment and the smell of antiseptic. Maria, the caregiver, became my only civil interaction in my own house. She was kind, professional. On her third day after my ultimatum, she caught me in the kitchen making coffee. Mr. Grimshaw, I want you to know I don't like this situation. Which part? Any of it. This is your home. They shouldn't have put you in this position. When Miss Grimshaw told me about the arrangement, I almost refused the job. Why didn't you? Mr. Whitmore needs care. But if I'd known they were pressuring you out of your own bedroom. She shook her head. It's not right. Tell them that. I did. Miss Grimshaw said it was temporary and you'd agreed. That's not what it looks like from where I'm standing. After she left each evening, the house became a Cold War zone. Reginald would turn the TV up deliberately loud, leave his walker in doorways where I'd trip, make messes in the kitchen and not clean them. Small acts of territorial aggression from a man who knew he was being evicted but refused to accept it gracefully. Day 15, Tobias Fletcher came by. Bart, What the hell is going on? Percy came to my house asking if I'd talk sense into you. Define sense. He says you're evicting Reginald, that you changed your will, that you're making his father choose between you and Cassandra. That's his version. Want mine? I told him everything. The bedroom, the basement demands, the assisted living threats, the recordings, the trust. Tobias whistled low. Jesus, Bart, that's calculated. That's survival. Have you thought about what this does to your relationship with Percy, with Gus? Every day. But Tobias, what was I supposed to do? Let them push me out? Give up my home? Because Cassandra wants it? No, but maybe there was a middle ground, some compromise. I tried compromise. I gave up my bedroom, moved to the guest room, used the upstairs bathroom, adjusted my whole life. They wanted more. They always want more. Where does compromise end and surrender begin? He didn't have an answer. Day 20, Monty called. Bart, I got a call from an attorney named Patricia Vance. She represents Cassandra and Percy. They want to negotiate. Negotiate what? The eviction stands. They want to propose an alternative arrangement. They're willing to move Reginald, but want assurances about the house. What kind of assurances? They want you to agree to leave the house to Percy in your will. Transfer it out of the trust back to normal inheritance. Absolutely not. I told them you'd say that. But Bart, they're preparing a countermove. Patricia hinted that they're considering a competency challenge. Based on what? Based on you being irrationally hostile to family, making erratic financial decisions like the trust transfer, showing signs of paranoia with the security cameras. They're going to paint you as mentally unstable and argue you need a guardian. My blood went cold. Can they do that? They can try. Competency challenges are hard to win, but they create chaos. Investigations, evaluations, court hearings. Even if you win, it's months of stress and legal bills. So what do I do? Two options. 1, negotiate. Give them something to make them back off. 2, fight. Get evaluated preemptively by a neuropsychologist. Document your mental fitness. Build your case before they build theirs. I'll fight. Set up the evaluation. Bart, are you sure? Fighting means months of legal warfare. It means Percy and Cassandra becoming permanent enemies. It means Gus being stuck in the middle. They made that choice when they tried to take my house. I'm just responding. The neuropsychological evaluation happened on day 23. Dr. Helena Morrison, specialist in geriatric psychology. 3 hours of cognitive testing, memory assessments, psychological evaluation. She interviewed me about the family situation. I told her everything, showed her the recordings, the trust documents, the timeline of events. Subscribe and stay tuned so you don't miss any true revenge stories. Sometimes, even silence is the strongest form of revenge. Mr. Grimshaw, I'll have my formal report in a week, but off the record, you're one of the most cognitively intact 72-year-olds I've assessed. Your memory is excellent, your reasoning is sound, your decision-making shows clear understanding of consequences. If someone tries to challenge your competency based on this situation, they'll lose. Even with the security cameras, the trust transfer, the cameras show reasonable precaution given documented threats. The trust shows estate planning prudence. Neither indicates impaired judgment. If anything, they indicate someone thinking clearly about protecting their interests. Can you put that in writing? Already planning to? Detailed report? Full assessment. If this goes to court, you'll have solid expert testimony. Day 29. I got a certified letter from Patricia Vance, attorney at law. Dear Miss Grimshaw, this letter serves as formal notice that our clients, Percival and Cassandra Grimshaw, are initiating guardianship proceedings under Maine Probate Code Section 5. We believe you are impaired and unable to manage your own affairs. Enclosed, please find the petition and hearing date. We encourage you to seek legal counsel. Sincerely, Patricia Vance, Esq. I called Monty immediately. They actually filed. The bastards actually filed. I know. I got served too as your attorney of record. Hearing is in 3 weeks. But Bart, we have Dr. Morrison's report. We have the recordings. We have documentation of their pressure campaign. They're going to lose. Will we get to show the recordings in court? Absolutely. Evidence of their motivation for filing shows this isn't about your welfare, it's about the house. Good, because I want a judge to hear exactly what they've been doing. That evening, Percy showed up, alone. Dad, we need to talk. Your lawyer already said everything. Guardianship petition. You think I'm incompetent? That's not. It's Cassandra. She's driving this. I told her it was too far, but she's convinced you're not thinking clearly. And you, what do you think? Percy looked at his feet. 44 years old, and couldn't meet his father's eyes. I think you're angry. I think you made decisions based on emotion, but incompetent. No, I don't think that. Then withdraw the petition. I can't. Cassandra won't. She's determined. Why? What does she really want? Percy finally looked up, and I saw it. Shame. Deep shame. The house. She wants the house. She's wanted it since you and Mom bought our down payment. She sees this place and thinks about what it's worth, what we could do with $800,000. She's been planning this for years, Dad. The moment Mom died, Cassandra started calculating. And you knew, I suspected. But I thought, I hoped she'd let it go, that we had enough. But she doesn't think like that. To her, your house is wasted potential, money sitting unused. She wants it liquidated, invested, working for our retirement. So you're letting her destroy our relationship for money. I'm trying to save my marriage. She said if I don't support her on this, she'll leave. Take Gus, divorce me. She gave me an ultimatum. And you chose her over me. I chose my son. I chose keeping Gus's family intact. I'm sorry, Dad. I'm so sorry. But I can't lose my son. He left. I stood in my living room. Reginald. In my bedroom. Medical equipment everywhere. 36 hours, until eviction deadline, and felt something break. Not anger anymore. Something deeper. Grief. For the son I thought I had. For the family I thought we were. Day 30 arrived. The eviction deadline. I called a moving company. Scheduled them for 8 a.m. 3 men. A truck. Instructions to remove all of Reginald's belongings. And medical equipment. At 7:45 I knocked on my bedroom door. Maria answered. Mr. Grimshaw. Moving company arrives in 15 minutes. Everything goes. Reginald. Equipment. All of it. But where will he? That's not my problem. He's had 30 days. Time's up. Cassandra arrived at 7:55, screeching into my driveway. You can't do this. I can. I am. 30 days notice. Everything legal. He's leaving. He's sick. He can't be moved. Then you should have made arrangements. 30 days. Cassandra. You gambled that I'd back down. You lost. The movers arrived. Professional. Efficient. They loaded the hospital bed. Monitors. Oxygen equipment. Reginald. Sitting in his wheelchair. Looking furious and frightened. This is elder abuse. Cassandra screamed. I'm calling the police. Call them. Explain how you moved your father into someone else's house, without a lease or rental agreement, then refused to leave when asked. See how that goes. She called anyway. Officer Diaz arrived 20 minutes later. Young, professional, patient. Sir, ma'am. What's going on? I showed him the timeline, the 30-day notice, the documented permission for Reginald to stay temporarily, the recordings of Cassandra's threats, the eviction paperwork Monty had filed with the court. This is all legal, Officer Diaz said to Cassandra. He gave proper notice. You need to vacate. But my father, your father is being moved by professional movers to a location you need to arrange. If you don't have a place ready, I can call Adult Protective Services to help find emergency placement. You can't, ma'am. You need to leave the property now, or I'll cite you for trespassing. They left. Reginald, Maria, Cassandra, Percy, who'd arrived during the chaos, loaded into Cassandra's SUV, medical equipment in a moving truck, headed to a storage facility. By 10 a.m., my house was empty. I walked through each room. My bedroom, cleared of medical equipment. Dorothea's nightstand back in its proper place. Our bed frame brought up from the garage. Reassembled, the wallpaper visible again. I lay on my bed, our bed, and cried. Not from sadness, from relief, from exhaustion, from grief for what this had cost. Tobias found me there an hour later. Let himself in. Came upstairs, sat on the edge of the bed. You did it. I destroyed my family. They destroyed it. You just protected yourself. Does it matter? Percy chose Cassandra. Gus is caught in the middle. I'm alone in a house full of memories, and everyone thinks I'm the villain. Not everyone. I don't. Monty doesn't. Maria told me she testified to the police that Cassandra had been pressuring you, said she'd testify in court too if needed. There's still the guardianship hearing, which you'll win. Dr. Morrison's report is devastating. You're cognitively intact. They have no case. Then why does it feel like I lost? Tobias didn't answer, because we both knew I'd saved my house but lost my family. Protected my independence but paid with isolation. The guardianship hearing was 3 weeks later, Knox County Courthouse. Judge Martha Brennan presiding. Patricia Vance presented their case. Painted me as paranoid, erratic, unable to manage relationships or make sound decisions. Called Percy as a witness. He testified reluctantly. Yes, I'd changed my will suddenly. Yes, I'd installed security cameras without telling anyone. Yes, I'd transferred my house to a trust. Yes, I'd evicted Reginald on exactly day 30. Monty cross-examined. Mr. Grimshaw, did you tell your father he should move to assisted living? Percy hesitated. Cassandra suggested it, and you supported that suggestion? Yes. Did you and your wife threaten a competency evaluation if your father didn't comply? Longer hesitation. We discussed it. That's not what I asked. Did you threaten it? Yes. Monty played the recordings. Every threat, every manipulation. Cassandra's voice talking about pushing me to assisted living. Percy agreeing. Their plan laid bare. Then Dr. Morrison testified. Detailed cognitive assessment, memory testing results, psychological evaluation, conclusions. Her professional opinion, I was completely competent, making rational decisions in response to documented family pressure. Judge Brennan asked me questions directly. Mr. Grimshaw, why did you install the cameras? To protect myself, Your Honor. They were threatening competency evaluations. I needed evidence that I was being rational, that they were the ones applying pressure. The trust transfer was that recommended by your attorney? Yes. To protect my home from being taken if they succeeded in having me declared incompetent. Do you understand the consequences of evicting Mr. Whitmore? Yes, Your Honor. I damaged my relationship with my son, possibly permanently. But he and his wife were trying to take my home. I had to choose between my house and their approval. I chose my house. Do you regret that choice? I thought about it, really thought. I regret the necessity, but no, I don't regret protecting what my wife and I built. Judge Brennan took 10 minutes to deliberate. This petition is denied. Mr. Grimshaw has demonstrated complete cognitive capacity. His decisions, while difficult, were rational responses to documented family pressure. The evidence shows that this petition was motivated not by concern for Mr. Grimshaw's welfare, but by financial interest in his property. This court finds no basis for guardianship. Petition dismissed. Cassandra looked murderous. Percy looked broken. I felt nothing but tired. Outside the courthouse, Percy caught up with me. Dad, I'm sorry for all of it. Are you, or are you sorry you lost? Both, maybe. But mostly the first. I should have protected you, should have stood up to Cassandra. I failed as a son. Yes, you did. He flinched like I'd hit him. Is there any way to fix this? I don't know. Trust is easy to break and hard to rebuild. What would it take for you to trust me again? I looked at my son, saw the boy who'd helped me in the workshop at 10 years old, the teenager who'd chosen carpentry electives to spend time with me, the young man who'd asked me to be best man at his wedding, and I saw the man who'd let his wife pressure his father out of his own bedroom, who'd supported a guardianship petition, who'd chosen marriage over integrity. Time, space, and Cassandra out of the equation. As long as you're with her, I can't trust you, because she'll always be calculating, always pushing, and you'll always choose her. I can't leave my wife. Then we're at an impasse, because I can't have her in my life. Not after this. So what? We're done? No relationship? We're whatever you make us. You want to rebuild? Start by setting boundaries with your wife. Tell her this house is off limits, that pressure stop, that she treats me with respect or she doesn't see me at all. She'll never agree to that. Then you have your answer. I walked away, got in my car, drove home to my house, my protected, secured, empty house. That evening, Gus showed up. First time I'd seen him since the eviction. "Grandpa, can we talk?" Of course. We sat on the back porch, summer evening, warm breeze, view of the yard I'd maintained for 47 years. "Mom says you stole our inheritance, that you changed your will to hurt Dad. Is that what she says?" "Yeah, but I don't believe it. I've been watching this whole thing. I'm 16, not stupid. I see what they were doing to you. What do you think they were doing? Trying to push you out so Mom could take the house. She's been talking about it for years, since Grandma Dirtia died. How much the house is worth. What we could do with the money. She wants it liquidated. And your father?" Gus looked down. "Dad loves you, but he's scared of Mom, always has been. She controls everything. Money, decisions, where we live, what we do. Dad just goes along to keep peace. That's not a healthy dynamic. I know, I've known for years. That's why I want you to know whatever they say, I'm on your side. This is your house. You built a life here. You shouldn't have to give that up because Mom's greedy." Something in my chest loosened. "Thank you, Gus. That means more than you know. The will, did you really leave the house to me? In trust. You get it when you're 25. Until then, it's managed by my attorney. But yes, it's yours, eventually. Why? Because you're the only one who sees this place as a home instead of an investment. You understand what it means. Your father used to, but he forgot. You haven't." Gus stood up, hugged me. 16 years old, already taller than me, strong like his father had been at that age. "I won't forget, Grandpa, I promise." After he left, I sat on the porch until dark, thinking about inheritance, about what we passed down. Money and property, yes, but also values, integrity, the courage to stand up for what matters. I'd failed to teach Percy those things, or he'd unlearned them. But maybe Gus was different. Maybe one generation could skip the corruption and remember the foundation. Weeks turned into months. Fall came. I settled into new routine, woodworking projects, library volunteering, chess with Tobias, long walks through Harborview, watching the neighborhood change. Percy tried to call occasionally. I didn't answer. He'd made his choice. Until that changed. Until he stood up to Cassandra, we had nothing to discuss. Gus visited every few weeks. We worked in the shop together, restored furniture, built new pieces, talked about everything except his parents. Around Thanksgiving, Monty stopped by. "Bart, you know that lawsuit Cassandra was threatening, challenging the trust?" "Yeah." She withdrew it. Her lawyer told mine they don't have grounds. The trust is airtight. Gus gets the house. They can't touch it. So it's really over. Legally, yes. Family-wise, that's up to you. I don't know what family-wise looks like anymore. Maybe it looks like what you have with Gus. Forget Percy and Cassandra. Build something with your grandson. That's family too. He was right. Traditional family, son, daughter-in-law. Happy holidays together. That was gone. But I had Gus. I had Tobias. I had Monty. I had people who valued me for who I was, not what I owned. That was enough. Christmas approached. I expected to spend it alone. Instead, Gus showed up on Christmas Eve. "Grandpa, Mom and Dad are having their usual party. Lots of people, catered food, the whole thing. I told them I was spending Christmas with you instead." "Gus, you don't have to. I want to. Besides, I need to learn how to make Grandma's famous pecan pie. You're the only one who knows the recipe. We spent Christmas Eve cooking together. Dorothea's recipes, her handwriting on index cards, faded but legible. We made pecan pie, sweet potato casserole, green bean almondine, all the dishes she'd made every Christmas for 48 years. Christmas morning, just the two of us, opening simple presents, books, tools, practical things, eating leftovers for breakfast, watching old movies in the living room. Best Christmas I'd had since Dorothea died. That evening, someone knocked. I opened the door to find Percy standing there, looking uncertain. "Dad, can I talk to you, just for a minute?" I looked at Gus. He nodded. 1 minute. Percy stayed on the porch, didn't ask to come in. "I wanted you to know I'm leaving Cassandra. Filed for divorce yesterday. She's furious, but I'm done. Done choosing money over integrity. Done choosing her over you." What changed? Watching Gus choose you, seeing him here on Christmas instead of at our party, realizing my 16-year-old son has more character than I do. That woke me up. "Where will you go?" "Temporary apartment in Augusta, until the divorce settles. Then I'll figure it out." "But Dad," I wanted to say I'm sorry, really truly sorry, for everything, for not protecting you, for choosing Cassandra's greed over your well-being, for letting it get this far. I appreciate that. Is there any chance at all, that we can rebuild? Not now. I know it's too soon, but eventually. I looked at my son, saw genuine remorse, saw change, or the beginning of it. Maybe, time will tell. But Percy, actions matter more than words. Show me you've changed. Show me you understand what matters. Then we'll talk. I will, I promise. He left. I went back inside. Gus was cleaning up wrapping paper. "Dad's really leaving, Mom." "Apparently." "Good. Maybe now he can be himself again, instead of whoever Mom wanted him to be." Maybe. New Year came. I started working on a new project, building a dining table. 8-foot black walnut, hand-carved legs, designed to last generations. For Gus, for when he inherited the house. Something he could gather his own family around someday. As I worked, I thought about everything that had happened. The bedroom invasion, the basement demands, the eviction, the court battle, the broken relationships. Had it been worth it, destroying my family to keep my house? Some days I thought, yes, this was my home, Dorothea's home, the place where we'd built our life. No one had the right to take that from me. Other days I wondered if I should have compromised, found middle ground, preserved relationships at the cost of comfort. But then I'd remember Cassandra's voice on the recordings, the calculation in her eyes, the way she'd looked at my home like it was already hers. And I knew compromise wouldn't have satisfied her. It would have just been slower surrender. I'd made the right choice, even if it hurt, even if it cost me my son, even if I spent my remaining years alone in this house. Because the house wasn't just property, it was principle. It was standing up for yourself. It was proving that age didn't mean weakness, that being alone didn't mean being vulnerable. It was showing Gus that some things were worth fighting for. One afternoon in February, I was in the workshop when Percy appeared. First time he'd been inside since Christmas. "Dad, can I help with whatever you're building?" I looked at the dining table, half finished, beautiful grain pattern emerging as I worked. "You remember how to use a hand plane?" "I think so. It's been years." "Then grab that one, start on the other end. We'll work toward the middle." We worked in silence for an hour. The rhythm of the planes, the smell of walnut shavings, the same workshop where I'd taught him carpentry 30 years ago. "I'm sorry," Percy said finally, "for all of it, but especially for forgetting what you taught me in this shop." "What did I teach you?" "That craftsmanship matters, that you don't cut corners, that some things take time and patience and can't be rushed." I forgot that, applied it to furniture but not to life, not to relationships. "Are you remembering now? trying to. The divorce is hard. Cassandra's making it difficult. Fighting for everything. The house, custody, money. But for the first time in years, I feel like myself. Not her version of me. Myself. That's a start. We kept working, father and son, rebuilding more than furniture. By March, Percy was coming by twice a week. We worked on the table together, talked about small things, weather, Gus's college plans, nothing deep, just presence, just time. Slowly, carefully, like planning wood, we smoothed the rough edges. The table was finished in April. We carried it into the dining room, 8 feet of black walnut, hand-rubbed oil finish. Perfect joinery, it would last 200 years. For Gus, I said, when he inherits. Percy ran his hand along the grain. It's beautiful. Your best work. Our best work. You did half. Dad, about the house. The inheritance. I understand why you did it. I don't blame you. I wasn't asking for approval, I know. But I want you to know I get it. Gus should have this place. He'll appreciate it. Protect it. I would have sold it. Cassandra would have insisted. But Gus will keep it. That's right. Thank you for understanding. I'm trying to understand a lot of things lately. About what matters, what doesn't. What's worth fighting for. May brought Gus's 17th birthday. He asked to celebrate at my house. Small party. Just him. Percy, Tobias, Monty, pizza, and cake. We sat around the new table, christening it before it went to storage. And I looked at the people gathered there. My son, slowly finding his way back. My grandson, solid and true. My friends, loyal through everything. Not the family I'd expected, but family nonetheless. That night, after everyone left, I sat on the back porch. Same spot where I'd sat with Gus on that summer evening. Same view of the yard. Same house standing solid behind me. I thought about Dorothea, about what she would say about everything that had happened. I thought she'd be proud, not of the conflict, not of the broken relationships, but of the standing firm, the refusing to be pushed, the protecting what we'd built together. You did good, I imagined her saying. You kept our home, and I had. Through manipulation, through threats, through legal battles, and family destruction, I'd kept my home. The house where we'd raised Percy, where we'd celebrated 48 Christmases, where she died in my arms, where I would die someday, in my own bed, in my own room. No one had taken that from me, whatever it cost. I'd protected what mattered most. My home, my independence, my dignity, and in the end, those things were worth more than peace at any price. If you like this story, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. To listen to the next story, click on the box on the left. Thank you for watching.